Well, it is a balmy, like 13 degrees outside. The weatherman lied, wouldn't you know? He said it's supposed to get up 39 today. Of course, it is morning, but it's not going to get to 39. So, well, today is Monday, January 27th, just after filming there on Saturday. Hopefully, I'll get that edited up for you guys, but trying to stay busy and get things done. So, this is kind of priority one aside from, you know, making sure animals are fed and watered and, you know, alive. So, today, yanking the motor out, yanking the driveline system out. Got some finished welding to do up front here. Burned all this in there, tail end of the week there. Got some temporary pieces of angle iron holding her up for ride height because we are waiting on parts. And in the meantime, got plenty of work to do, so we're not gonna sit around. So, yank all this out. Got some finished welding back up underneath here. It's just easier with the motor out, so why not make life easier and yank the motor out? Plus, this is just a mock-up block. Real motor sitting right there. So, guess we're gonna get busy here. Grab the old $100 Craigslist buy from many, many years ago, and yank the motor. And don't know if we'll wrestle that drop box out on our own, or we might wait for help because that's heavy and awkward, and I don't want to drop that. I already had to buy it once. I don't want to buy it again. So, alrighty. Guess we're gonna get busy. Well, front half is all done here. Motor mounts burn all in underneath and everything. Bump stops burn in on both sides. I think pretty well. Front end's finished here. Did make some tether mounts yesterday. Had a little time come in here on Sunday there. Not that you're really supposed to work on Sundays. My wife had to make a trip down to Apple Creek, so I was unsupervised. I had to do something. So I came in here. Anyways, I think the only thing left as far as welding, cross my fingers, is I want to fill them holes that I made in that hitch. I changed my idea for my adjusters. See, before they were going to be in here, and I didn't like that, so I put them out there. So I don't like that being open because, well, inevitably, we're going to get caught in a rainstorm somewhere, someday, with this on a trailer. And I don't want my drawbar filling full of water, because everything on this chassis is welded completely shut. It may be right, it may be wrong. Some of you probably have some opinions on that, but my opinion is I don't want rainwater going in here. Also, when I wash this thing, I don't want water going in there. So, I'm gonna burn that shut. Well, I think all the welding is done. It's just a matter of going around, polishing things out, and making it pretty for paint. And I did a dumb one. Crawled over the frame here, and that there stupid push-pull. It's right there. You can kind of see the dust where it was sitting. Wouldn't you know? Welding helmet on. Didn't see it. Put my ankle on it. It turned. Rolled my ankle, and I went down like a sack of taters. And I tell you, my ankle hurts. And yeah, I got a hay customer coming in about an hour. I get to load. that's gonna be enjoyable on the old jacked up ankle now. So, yeah. Moral of the story is, don't be stupid. Use a ladder or a step stool. Don't climb over things like a monkey, because you're not a monkey, and when you fall, you don't do it so graciously. Yeah. All right, guess I'm gonna throw you on time lapse or something along those lines and run around, cleaning, polishing, shining, then go load hay, and yeah. Folks, back spreading manure today here. Had a little bit of time yesterday spent in the shop sanding besides usual barn chores, so I'm gonna clean out this north farm down here today, and then I guess it looks like we're gonna get some rain, so we're gonna see how well this tractor does. I'm a little lighter than Dad is. This is the 766, his is a 1066. It's weighted a little better. We are slowing down. See how this pans out. But if we're lucky, we'll get the barn empty and I won't get stuck. We'll see what happens here. Well, we're playing a bit of catch up here. The last thing you guys saw on this, I was over there in the South Bay sanding away. I don't know how much of that actually got captured. The camera died. And a lot has transpired. We have now set up the booth, moved the frame to the North Bay, and got everything taped off, pretty well masked off best I can. It's getting kind of late in the day. This is Friday the 31st of January, so Dad's messing around with some paint there. I just poured and getting it mixed out, and I'm gonna finalize a few things here. We've changed how the booth went up this time a little bit. Just trying to allow a little bit more for being able to work with ease. And this frame I didn't quite position in the right place because my cable's right there, and well, you can see that's center of axle about, and that really wasn't good on my end. So what can I say? Hindsight's 2020. I should have moved it back, but I wanted it, you know, away from the door here so I can work. But probably gonna crack the door here, put a fan in once we've got paint mixed, and gonna real quick spray some vapor through the gun, make sure it's set up right, and I'm gonna blast this thing with Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer. I prefer the gray primer when you don't have rusty metal, but nobody seems to carry that in a gallon around here, so, and we use more of the rusty metal stuff than we do the gray stuff, so bought the rusty metal stuff. It'll work just fine because that's what I've done before, but everything's masked off. We're gonna get busy. Well, first coat of primer's done. Got some overspray, unfortunately, on the floor the way it looks, but that'll wipe off eventually. The poor fan has decided to change, you know, colors again. It was red once before, then black. Now it's going back red, and it'll probably be back to being black when we're done, because this is going gloss black. But I think I got it pretty good for first coat. A few places have some thin spots, but I sanded this thing way down with an orbital sander. I mean, this thing is very, very, very smooth, to say the least. So it's very hard to get painted here well to a very smooth surface. So I didn't want to go too crazy on first coat. I think I went a little crazier than I probably should have on first coat. Had a couple places like up front here that I really sanded really well. We're going to be resanding that once that cures. So we can hit this some base coat. Well, it'll be sanded before it goes to the second coat of primer, but yeah, you can even see the overspray laying on top of the frame. That's how, wow. We're gonna have to get a little creative, I think, for the next shot, because the fan placement up there is not it. That was a mistake, I think, unfortunately. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I have a couple ideas cooked up for how to build a paint fume extractor with some El Cheapo fans, some plywood, and some furnace filters. And we're probably, I think, going to have to do that. I don't really foresee getting out of doing that the way this is looking, because there's a lot of fumes that end up in overspray, I should say, ends up in the air while you're shooting something like this. I mean, you got a tube, you've got four sides of that tube you have to hit. So, you know, you might be shooting here and you're landing overspray over there somewhere over there because this is just, you know, zooming right through there. So I'm gonna have to go a little creative, I think, on fume extraction. But I think all in all, for as much tube work as there is on here, I think I did really well for not having a bunch of runs, because it is hard. I know there's runs up there in the front frame horns. That's 5 seconds with an orbital, no, well, 30 seconds with an orbital sander and then we're gone. And I got a little bit on a wheel spacer there because I was a little too close. But other than that, I don't even see any. So the objective is to not have runs. I'll tell you, flat work is a lot easier than tubular work. Tubular work is not fun. Good news is all my polished out welds turned out really well on the subframe. You can't even tell there's a joint there. Well, you can if you're me, but yeah, looks weird being red. It's been black, gray, and bare metal for a very long time. So I think we're gonna wrap it up here for the day. Sun's headed down, it's about 6 o'clock. I broke my stool, so that's going in the scrap bin out back. And we're gonna shut the door here in a few minutes, kick on the heat again. Shut the heat off while we're painting, because you know, boom, that doesn't exactly sound fun to me. So we'll kick her back on and probably adjourn for the day. And I don't know how optimistic I am about putting second coat of primer on tomorrow, but I gotta put it on tomorrow because that's a 24-hour interval. You gotta shoot them 24 hours. So, well, you don't have to, but it's optimal to shoot it at 24 hours. So, at least in this redneck science paint booth, we don't have a nice furnace to kick on and, you know, flash off and downdraft and all that fun stuff. I sure wish we did, but we also don't paint for a living, so we can't justify that. Of course, I don't know, maybe I should paint for a living, because good grief, all I get done doing is painting around here. But, all right, we're out of here for night.